Almost live from the Enchanted Trivia Room, it's the Theme Park Trivia Show! With Disco Yeti and the Mineral Kings! And here's your host, Ryan Ritchie! Jumbo, everyone, and welcome to the Theme Park Trivia Show. You are joining us on a very special episode today. We have Brian Miles and Hal Bowers from the RetroWDW podcast and website. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Let's learn a little bit more about you. Brian, welcome home. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yes, I'm from Southeast Pennsylvania, the Philadelphia area, where I've lived my entire life. And when I am not doing my day job, which is human resources and risk management for a real estate company, where I've been for over 2 decades, I spend my time talking about Walt Disney World's history.
And when you're not doing that, you are sharing vending machine inventories with everyone.
I do share our office vending machine every time it's restocked every few weeks. I do share that update on Twitter and just let people know what's new in the machine. And then when I occasionally come across a vending machine somewhere else, in fact, I came across one the other day that was face care products in the mall. It was like a whole bunch of skincare products. I didn't take a picture of it, but it was at the Montgomeryville Mall. I walked past that and I just kind of stopped and looked and said, that might be photo worthy.
Thank you very much, Brian. And Hal, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Aloha, Ryan. I am Hal Bowers. I am from beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm a UI UX designer and graphic designer when I'm not doing nerdy Disney stuff. But when I am, man, I love doing nerdy Disney stuff, like the RetroWDW podcast, that is.
Very nice. All right, gentlemen. Well, let's jump right into it. And of course, to do so, just like we would start a day at the park, we will start with the rope drop. So this is the question to determine who has control of the board. We spun a handwich backstage. It pointed to you, Brian, so you will get a chance to answer first in today's rope drop question. Okay?
Alrighty.
And remember, it's the closest answer gets control. It doesn't matter if you go over. That's a whole other game show. Here we go.
Okay.
The electrical water pageant consists of 2 flotillas carrying large light arrays. How long is each flotilla? Closest answer gets control of the board. How long is each flotilla? Brian?
12 feet.
12 feet. Hal, your answer, please.
33.
33 feet. According to the always accurate D23, the correct answer is 456 feet.
Oh, you meant full-size ones. We were talking about our models.
I guess they're combining each, all the other ones. Okay. At any rate, Hal has control of the board. A quick reminder that each question is more or less worth 10 points. We'll see how that goes.
I should have said $1.
Yes.
I should have said $1.
Yes. Let's take a look at our categories today. We have the dining plan, in the gold or out in the cold, beyond the berm, test track, mighty microscope, and RetroWDW. So, Hal, where are we headed first?
I think we're going to go beyond the berm.
These are questions about attractions that are outside of the Disney or Universal world. So, here we go. Hal, what theme park is the original home of the Howl-O-Scream Halloween event?
Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay.
Busch Gardens, Tampa is correct. 10 points to Hal to get things started. He retains control. On to our next question. Where can you find and still ride the world's oldest operating roller coaster?
Oh, wow.
I think Brian might be ready to steal this one. Get the
Coney Island, New York? That would be my guess. I don't know.
Oh, that is incorrect. Brian, do you have an answer for us?
Hershey Park.
Hershey Park, you are in the correct state. We're looking to leap the dips at Lakemont Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Leap the Dips opened in 1902, and it ran continuously until 1986 when it was nearly demolished, and then they restored it 1986 to 1999. Still open today. It's oddly thrilling, despite a top speed of 10 miles per hour. So, if you ever get the
I'll
chance.
rush right out there and check it out.
Absolutely. All right, Hal, we will have you retain control of the board. What theme park is home to the Coast Guard Academy and the Robotic Play Center attractions?
I'm gonna take a wild guess of like Legoland, California, and San Diego.
Judges, we're not sure about San Diego. We're looking for Legoland, New York. We're going to give it to you.
Oh.
20 points. 20. You have 20 points. It was only worth 10 points, just to be clear.
All right.
Hal, you still have control. Disney envisioned its People Mover system as a future transportation system for cities. Outside of a Disney theme park, where can you ride on a transportation system based on the People Mover?
It's you know what? I always mess this one up. I'm gonna say it's the Houston International Airport.
Judges, I think we're gonna take it. We're usually real nitpicky here. We usually pick the nits. It is the George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, but we're gonna take it.
Do I get any points for having actually ridden it at George Bush Intercontinental Airport?
What? So when you were on it, Brian, did it feel like the People Mover at all?
Well, I never rode the one in Disneyland that had the little roofs on them, but they're like little pods. They don't look anything like either the Disneyland or the Walt Disney World ride vehicles. It's, it opens. It's a normal like little thing. You get in. There's 2 sets of seats and room for your luggage, and you hop on there, and it moves you from one terminal to the next. It's kind of dank and underground, and there's nothing like thrilling about it. We know the history, but it wouldn't occur to anybody else that, oh, I should be excited about this ride system.
They kind of leaned into the dankness. They now call it the subway. They just
yes,
so
yeah.
All right. Well, I enjoyed Brian's story, so he now has control for this question.
There we go.
And well, I don't want to. I think you have a good shot at this one. Jim Henson's son, Brian, had a seasonal job at what theme park?
Disneyland.
You were going to be shocked as I was by this. Hal, would you like to steal?
I'll take a shot at Knott's Berry Farm.
Believe it or not, it was Sesame Place in the suburbs of Philadelphia.
Langhorne, okay.
Kind of almost an undercover boss situation where it's, the Sesame Street characters are there and he's just there working as a teenager doing teenager stuff and keeping an eye on the IP, I think. So
I wish he was still doing the voice of Kermit.
Oh.
We have wrong sounding Muppets.
Don't bring us down with a discussion of the current Kermit voice.
Yes.
That's for a different podcast. All right. That's it for Beyond the Berm. Brian, I guess you'll choose our next category.
Well, I'm going to start with the dining plan because I got to pick some points up here.
All right, the dining plan. Here we go. These are questions, as you might expect, about theme park food and dining locations. When Walt Disney World reopened after its COVID-19 closure, what fan favorite feature was missing from the Pecos Bill Cafe?
The Fixins Bar.
The Fixins Bar. I always felt like you were beating the system when you used the Fixins Bar. Do you think we'll see it return?
Not if they're smart. The great thing about this is that it's given them an opportunity to sunset some things that, you can get some of the condiments back out there, but the folks who used to make a meal out of the lettuce, the tomato, the salsa, then, build a salad. And they did control access to the room. You had to have an order of food and all, in order to get in at a certain point. You were no longer able to just walk in. But no, I don't think we'll see it come back in the extensive form it used to exist.
Okay.
If my kids were bad, I would just cover them in hot cheese. That was their punishment if they were.
Okay, this is a little tricky one here, Brian. Where can you enjoy a, quote, not so little chicken sandwich? There might be a clue in the name.
Hollywood Studios.
That is a good guess. We're very current here. Hal, would you like to take a shot at this one?
Yes, I'm going to say, and I don't know if I have the name right, but it's the Pim's restaurant at Disney's California Adventure in the new Marvel section.
You are correct. Pim's Test Kitchen. We're going to take it. Very good. All right.
I based my answer on the fact that there was a giant Chicken Little billboard in Disney MGM Studios for like 2 years.
Now, Hal, I think you might have the leg up on these going forward. Here we go.
The turkey leg?
Where would you find the Pueblo Room restaurant in the early days of Walt Disney World?
The what room?
Pueblo. The Pueblo.
Oh, okay. I thought you said the Playboy room. I'm like, I am unfamiliar with this.
Oh, my goodness.
That
You might find it in the same spot.
That would be in the Contemporary Resort Hotel.
If there were a Playboy room, that would be the most likely location.
Yeah, up in the penthouse.
We can all agree.
Yep.
Very good. 10 points to Hal for that one. Okay. What
Sure,
dining?
he gets the easy one.
What dining location features footage of a self-driving car from the 50s? I think Brian's going to steal. Brian looks like he's ready to steal this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pass on that one. Not Pecos Bills.
Brian?
The Sci-Fi Dine-In.
You got it. It's part of the loop of trailers and newsreels that show inside the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater. Very good. All right. Here we go with our last category, our last question rather, in the dining plan. What fast food restaurant brand was formerly found in Frontierland as well as Animal Kingdom's Dinoland USA?
The answer is McDonald's, but you left out
Take it.
Sunset Boulevard in Disney MGM Studios and I guess the bridge to World Showcase right as you come into World Showcase in Epcot. So it was in 4 locations.
And one more.
Oh, and Downtown Disney.
Downtown Disney. And actually, Brian, that was the plussing question. That was a chance to add 10 points by naming all the locations, which you did.
I should get 20 points for just adding them in before you even ask.
So we are done with the dining plan. Where are we headed next?
I will go with Test Track.
Test Track. Oh, I'm sorry, there's a light drizzle. Test Track is closed. You have...
But as a bonus, we're leaving Horizons open for like an extra 3 years.
There's no sinkhole. I don't know what you're talking. There's no sinkhole. While we're waiting for this rain to clear, this is probably a good time to mention your upcoming event. Now, if folks aren't familiar, obviously the RetroWDW podcast is, as the name would imply, a wonderful podcast about the history of Walt Disney World. And you have a website of the same name, but you also have a special event.
Well, that's true. We've got a big live event coming up this April 2022. It is Retro Magic 50, and it is not because it's our 50th Retro Magic. It's to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort. And what we do is we bring in, Imagineers, designers, creators who are responsible for creating the things in the parks over the last 50 years that we love. People that opened the parks in 1971, people that designed iconic attractions, wrote iconic music, all of that. We bring them in for a day of events on stage, interviews, performances, and then give fans an opportunity to meet them. And we feed you to boot. You have a nice lunch, usually with some historical Disney items there. You can find the information on the roster of Disney All-Stars we have coming here. At retromagic.org. That'll take you right to the page, tells you all about the event and how to get tickets if you're interested in attending. And that's April 24th, 2022 in the Walt Disney World Resort.
Very nice.
It's a great day.
Awesome. And surprises abound as well. Just a good time to meet folks.
Always.
Very good. It looks like the drizzle is clearing. However, we are going to move on and let Hal pick our next category. The choices are Retro WDW, Mighty Microscope, or In the Gold or Out in the Cold.
Well, I want to stay gold, Pony Boy, so I'm going to go for in gold or out in the cold.
All right. Well, Walt Disney World is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and as part of that celebration, 50 different characters have been honored in gold statues around the park. Some having more to do with the parks than others. But I'll give you a list of 10 characters, and you'll say in the gold if they're one of the characters being celebrated, or out in the cold if they are not. In the gold or out in the cold. How you will do 10, and then Brian, we have 10 for you. And whoever gets the most correct will get all 50 points in this category. Rapid fire, are you ready?
No pressure, no pressure.
All right, in the gold or out in the cold. Here we go. Mickey Mouse.
In the gold.
Kermit the Frog.
Out in the cold.
Correct. Lumiere.
In the gold.
Correct. That guy on the floor at the Orlando airport.
Out in the cold.
That is correct. Dumbo.
In the gold.
Yes. Bill Nye.
Out in the cold.
Correct. Pinocchio.
Out in the cold?
Incorrect. He will be honored. Baby Groot.
In the gold.
We can all rest easier knowing that. Tom Morrow.
Out in the cold.
Correct. And lastly, Buzzy.
Oh, wait. Not only in the cold, but completely missing.
Completely missing. And if you see him, please let us know. Hal got 9 correct. 9 correct. He set a very high bar here, Brian. Okay.
Well, I mean, Kermit's the surprise there. Like
He's been there.
that was your trick answer, right? Like that's where you would expect Kermit to be in the parks and not the guy from Soul or a little baby Groot or.
All right, here we go with your 10 choices. In the gold or out in the cold.
All right.
Here we go. BB-8.
In the gold.
Correct. Nemo.
I'll say in the gold.
That is correct. Bambi.
Out in the cold.
Bambi made the cut, believe it or not.
All right.
Miss Piggy.
Out in the cold.
Out in the cold. Waldo, the spirit of 3D.
Out in the cold.
That is correct. Stitch.
In the gold.
Stitch is in the gold. Ellen.
Out in the cold. And mad about it. She's abusing some staff member over that.
How about the redhead?
Out in the cold.
That is correct. The Mad Hatter?
In the gold.
Yes. And Olaf.
In the gold.
In the gold is correct. That gives Brian a total of 9 as well. I hate it when this happens. Let's just give them each 50 points, ladies and gentlemen. How about that?
There we go.
All right. That
so
might
how
be,
you're still winning by 10.
All right.
We might not have numbers that high. We'll see what happens here. 100 and okay, great.
We're gonna roll over the scoreboard.
That's it.
It'll be like the millennium all over again. All the computers are going to crash.
Like the wand. It'll be the wand all over again.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Mighty Microscope or Retro WDW. We had a tie there, so I guess we will let Brian select.
I'm leaving the best for last, so I'm going to go with Mighty Microscope.
Mighty Microscope. Okay, very good. Well, you've both experienced theme park attractions countless times, but let's see if you can identify the tiny details by looking at these magnified photos of current or former attractions. All right, so Brian, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this. What do we have there? What attraction is that?
That is the tunnel in the sea cabs of the Living Seas attraction.
That is correct. Let's take a look at this next one. What do we have there?
I'm gonna say that is a plant, one of the plants from the land greenhouse.
That is correct. He worked it through, living with the land. That is a rosemary from the. Well, no one has taken it yet, so that's good. All right, here is our third photo. That's a hard one.
That looks like the stage where the penguins rise up in Muppet Vision.
Oh, that is a very, very good guess. Incorrect. How? Can you steal this one?
That is definitely. I mean, it's certainly a footlight. I'm trying to think of all the stages that have footlights, and that's a strange. I see rope. Country Bear Jamboree.
That was going to be.
Country Bear Jamboree is correct.
If I got a chance to steal on that, that was going to be my second answer. After I stared at it, I'm like,
okay, very good. Country Bear Jamboree. Let's take a look at our next image.
Huh.
It's Jeffrey from Toys R Us.
Yeah, that is a frightening giraffe. I'm trying to think of where the Festival of the Lion King?
Festival of the Lion King is correct. Impressive. Very nice. All right, and to round out the category, let's take a look at our last image.
I can only guess that would be It's a Small World.
And you could only guess correctly. It is It's a Small World. Very well done. Taking a look at the scores, we have a real barn burner here, not a barn stormer. 130 for Hal and 120 for Brian.
All right.
Very good, gentlemen. Well, that brings us to our last category, RetroWDW. Let's see how well you do with these questions, which are taken from your very own podcast and website. So we'll see how you do. No pressure. And let's see, Hal, you still have control on this one. What was the name of the first permanent 3D film attraction at a Disney park?
That would be Magic Journeys.
Magic Journeys, correct. And we have one more 3D question. Where was Magic Journeys first shown at Disneyland?
Oh, well, they built their very own Magic Eye Theater in front of Tomorrowland, but I think it was in a tent in front of it at first. They built some sort of weird temporary thing.
My understanding from the RetroWDW podcast is that it was shown at the Fantasyland Theater After Dark.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There you go.
See?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, very good. Brian, we turn over to you for number 3. Where could one previously dine at an upscale restaurant known as Flagler's?
At the Grand Floridian.
Grand Floridian. And it was replaced by?
Citrico's?
Very good. Now, would you like to plus it, Brian, and try for an additional 10 points? It is 140 to 130. If you get the plussing question correct, you will get an additional 10 points. Get it wrong, and you will lose the 10 you've already earned.
Wink, I'm going to go for it all.
All right, he's going for it all. What was the name of the signature breakfast drink at Flagler's?
I just had my own. This is terrible because I mean, I had a whole tweet thread about this like 3 months ago. It was citrus based.
Mm-hmm.
It was identical to the orange flip we figured out, but they called it Florida Sunrise.
We're going to take it. Floridian Sunrise.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Orange and lime juice with honey.
Can't believe I remembered that. Go ahead. Run the recipe.
Orange and lime juice with honey, nutmeg, and a whipped egg. Very good.
For everyone I've ever forgotten your birthday or something, I'm sorry, but I remembered the Floridian Sunrise. So
Very good. We have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. 140 points for each of you. Here is the next to last question for this round. Brian, where could you experience the latest from XS Tech?
at Alien Encounter.
Alien Encounter.
Which you can hear all about from the attractions designer, Jerry Rees, at our Retro Magic event in April.
Very true, and you can get some background on it by listening to episode 61.
Didn't we do two? Oh, no, we were going to do a second episode, and then we decided to just bring the guy to Florida.
And lastly, what is or was, I guess is, it still exists, Mickey's Retreat?
Mickey's Retreat is a recreation area for cast members.
And their families, correct, at Little Lake
Yes.
Bryan, which I'm not real good with my geography, but that's still Disney property, correct?
It is Disney property. It's across, Hal will know the highways and whatever, but it's tucked in a corner across like 535 or something.
Yeah, if you picture the old Disney Springs exit would take you on, it's a kind of on the other side of I-4. So it would be on the outlet mall side of I-4,
Gotcha.
but to the right rather than the left.
Very good. All right. Well, looking at our scores, Brian, you have 160 points. Hal, you have 140 points, but anyone can win because it's time for our Key to the Kingdom question.
All right.
It's our big question at the end. Think about how many points you'd like to wager. Today's category is transportation. Transportation. So write down how many points you want to wager in the category of transportation. While they're doing that, I'd just like to remind everyone, if you're enjoying the show, I'm going to ask you to do something really magical and go ahead and subscribe. All right, gentlemen, here is today's Key to the Kingdom question in the category of transportation. Now keep those pens handy because you're going to be making a list. There are currently 12 monorail colors at Walt Disney World. List as many of those 12 colors correctly as you can. So no more than 12 answers, please. We're looking for the correct monorail colors. Correct monorail colors. We're not looking for those wraps with the characters or Stitch, just the monorail colors. Bottom of that page. Okay, gentlemen, I believe that's going to be pens down. Let's see how you did. We will start with Brian. I'm sorry, we'll start with Hal. Hal, share your list with us, please.
All right, I have silver, gold, lime, coral, teal, orange, red, blue, yellow, and black.
Blue, yellow, and black to finish it out. Okay. All right. Let's go to you, Brian.
Well, congratulations, Hal. First off. So I had teal, pink, coral, orange, blue, red, lime, black, green, and yellow, some of which aren't real colors, and 80 points.
Those are real colors.
Well, they're not all real colors on the monorail.
Actually, I think they
Are they? Is the green? I thought the green was not.
Yeah, no, green. I forgot green. Yeah.
All right, well, then maybe.
No, that's
I forgot silver and gold, though, because Burl Ives wasn't singing about it to me. So.
All right. Well, the actual colors currently are peach, teal, red, coral, orange, gold, yellow, lime, green, blue, silver, and black. And so let's take a look at those lists. How many did Hal get correct? 10. 10. That is very good, Hal. And how about Brian? 9 for Brian, right down to the edge. Well, let's see what you wagered. This will determine the outcome here as Hal pulled out the key to the... Oh, my goodness. And Brian went with 80. Let me do the math. It looks like Hal is today's winner in a nail biter. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
That
was good. That was a good technique.
That is incredible. Brian, I'm sorry it wasn't the year of a million dreams, but there's always next time.
There's no let it ride where Hal just puts it all in and we double or nothing.
He wins a Chevy Cavalier, just like...
Chevy Cavalier with there's 364 other guests.
Back in the celebration. But you don't have to see a birthday cake, so there's that. Birthday cake castle.
There is that.
Congratulations, Hal. Brian, thank you both for joining me today, and thank you for watching. It's been another great trip down memory lane. And remember, now is the time. Now is the best time. See you later, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. Please like this video and subscribe so we can keep making it. It's what Walt would have wanted. See you next time.